to show you all the Ninjago characters in the whole game. First is Kai. He can jump. He can hit with his swords. And he has swords. And he has the element of fire. Next is Cole. He has a hammer. He has the earth power. And he can jump. Next is Nia. She can roll. She can use a spear. She has the element of water. And she can jump. Next is Zane. He has a bow and arrow that can shoot when you target it at things. He has the element of ice, and he can jump. Next is Lloyd. He has the element of green. He has a sword. And he can jump. And he can dodge. Next up is Jay. He uses nunchuck. He can jump. He has the element of lightning. He can dodge. Next is Master Wu. He can hit with his bow staff. He has all the elements. And he can jump. Next is Garmadon from the jungle. He has this whacking thing. He has no element. And he can jump and dodge. Next up is Lady Iron Dragon. She has a bow and arrow, no element, and she can jump. Next up is Gamma Mega Man. He can shoot sharks, has no element, and can jump. Next is Green Ninja Mech Dragon. Has no element, can jump, and can shoot green missiles. Next is Kai Unmasked. He has the same things, his swords, he can jump, and the element of fire. Next is Cole Unmasked. He has his hammer, he can jump, and he has the element of earth. Next is Nia Unmasked. She has a spear and the element of water, and she can jump. Next is Zane Unmasked. Bow and arrow. You have to shoot it at things that you target. He has the element of ice, and he can jump. Next is Lloyd Unmasked. He's got a sword, and he's got the element of green, and he can jump. Next is Jay Unmasked. Has a nunchuck. He has the power of lightning, and he can jump and dodge. Next is Kai High School. He's got swords, the element of fire, and he can jump. Next is Cole High School. He's got a hammer, he can jump, and he has the element of earth. Next up is Nia High School. She's got a spear. She has the element of water. And she can jump. Next up is Zane High School. She's got a bow and arrow. He can jump. And he has the element of ice. Next up is Lloyd High School. He's got a sword. He can jump. And he's got the element of green. Next up is J High School. He's got a nunchuck. He can jump. And he has lightning. Next up is Lord Garmadon. He's got his whacking thing. He doesn't have an element and he can jump. Next up is Lord Garmadon Office. He's got his weapon, he can jump, and no element. Next up is Lord Garmadon Pajamas. He's got his weapon, he can jump, no element. Next up is Koye. She has bow and arrow, and she doesn't have an element. Next is Coco Office. No weapon. No, she's got a crossbow, can jump, no element. Kai training. He's got his swords, can jump, and he has an element. Next is Nia Ceremony Robes. She has a spear, element of water, and she can jump. Next is Lloyd Kendo. He's got his sword and jump, and he has the element of green. Next is Ed. He has his fists and no element, and he can jump. Next is Edna. She can only punch and kick. No weapon, no element, and she can jump. Hot Dog Man. He has mustard and ketchup. He can jump and no element. Next up is N Pop Girl. She's got a hammer. She can jump. No element. Next up is Rocker. Can only punch. No element, and he can jump. Next up is Sushi Chef. He has his hands only. He can jump. No element. Next is General 1 from Garmadon's army. She's got 2 blasters. Can jump, no element. Next is Shark Army General number 1. He's got blasters, can jump, and he has no element. Next is Shark Army Thug. He can punch and kick and jump, no element. Next up is Anger Goon. She has this fish attached to a hammer. She can jump, no element. Next is Krusty. She's got a crab attached to a chain. Can jump, no element. Next is Fishbowl. Got a blaster, can jump, and no element. Next is the Great White Shark. He's got a fish attached to a hammer, can jump, no element. Hammerhead. He's got a chainsaw thing attached to a fish. Can jump, no element. Octopus. He has knives attached to a fish. Can jump, no element. Pufferfish Thug. He's got a water drain attached to a fish. Bat Nerd. She can punch, jump, no element. Wait, she has a bomb. Number 1 fired. Blasters, jump, no element. Shark Army General 1 fired. He's got swords attached to fish. Can jump, no element. Next is Snake Army Brute. He's got swords, can jump, no element. Next is Kai Classic. He's got his swords, can jump. He's got the element of fire. Next is Cole Classic. He's got his hammer, can jump, no element. Next is Nia Classic in her Samurai X suit. She's got a spear. She can jump. And she has the element of water. Next is Zane Classic. He's got a bow and arrow. He can jump. And he has the element of ice. Next is Lloyd Classic. He's got his sword. He can jump. And he's got the element of green. Jay Classic. He's got his nunchuck. He can jump. He's got the element of lightning. Next is Pythor. He's got the Snake Army staff. He can jump, but no element. Next is Acidicus. He's got the general staff, no element, and he can jump. Next is Lasher. She's got a spike attached to a pole. Next is Lizard. He has an axe, can jump, no element. Next is Fangshi. He has a bone attached to an axe, sharp part, can jump, no element. Next is Phantom. He's got the general staff, can jump, no element. Next is Snapper. He's got a spear, can jump, no element. Next is Scales. He's got the general staff, can jump, no element. Next is Siratha. She's got an axe, can jump, no element. Next is Scadillo. He has a general staff, can jump, no element. Next is Sensai Yang, who is a ghost. He has his bow staff, no element, and he can jump. And he's a ghost. Next is Moro. He has his double-bladed. He has a double blade, can jump. He's a ghost, but no element. Next is Basha. She has a sword and no element and can jump. Next is Soul Archer. He has a bow and arrow, can jump, and no element. Next is General Cytor, General Cryptor. He's got swords, can jump, no element. Next is Pixel. She's got these blades, can jump, but no element. Next is Master Chen. He's got his staff that controls all the elements. He's got all the elements, and he can jump. Next is Griffin Turner. If you press K, he can run super fast. He can attack with his fists, and he can jump. Next is Karloff. He can punch. Can jump, and no element. Next is Ash. Can punch, can jump, and he can disappear. Next is Bolobo. He has his plant staff, can jump, and he can make everything. You can have like a plant thing. Next is Camille. She can punch. She can turn into different people, and she can jump. Next is Gravis. He can jump. He's got a sword, and he has an element. Next is Nero. He has the element of mind, jump, and he can punch. Next is Pale Man. He can punch and jump, and he can disappear. Next is Shade. He can punch. He can disappear too. Next is Skylar. She can punch. She's got a crossbow. Can jump. And she has the element where if an elemental touches her, she'll get that element. Next up is Tox. She can punch, jump. She can make a toxic bubble. Next is Nadakan. He has his sword, can jump, and he does dynamite. Next is Siren. She has two swords, can jump, no element, but can throw dynamite. Next is Flintlock. Got a blaster, jump, and he can throw dynamite. Next is Acronix. He's got a sword, he runs super fast, and he can jump. Next is Crux. He has an axe, can jump, and he can run, and he can't run super fast, and he doesn't have an element. Next is Master of Lightning. She can punch, jump, and she has the element of lightning. Next is Maya. She has bow staff. She has a bow staff. She can jump, and she has the element of water. Next is Ray. He's got swords, can jump, and he has the element of fire. Next is Samurai X. She has a sword, can jump, no element. Next is Ronin. Got swords, jump, and he has dynamite. Next is Dareth. He can punch, jump, no element. Next is Postman. Can punch, jump, no element. Next is General Kozu. He has a hammer, jump, no element or anything. Next is Stone Warrior. He's got a sword, jump, no element. Next is Mr. Louis. Punch, jump, no element. Next is the Golden Ninja. He's got swords, jump, and he's got all the elements. Next is Lloyd hoodie. He's got a sword, can jump. He's got the element of green. Thanks for watching. Comment down below what video you want next. Like and subscribe and click the notification bell. Bye. Have a good day.